So, first of all, what I want to say is anxiety is a fucking bitch. And it's something which I have struggled with literally for the past 2 years. So, I don't want this channel to be all sort of doom and gloom or negative. I want this to be uplifting and fuck it. Let's just dive deep into what type of anxiety you might have. It comes in all different forms. There's not one thing that can trigger it. It's negative thinking, obviously panic attacks, social situations. Self-sabotage is a big one as well that I struggle with. So what I've done this last month is, because I've wanted to speak about this for so long, I've decided to write down whenever I've had anything sort of anxiety related pop up into my brain. And I thought I'd share it with you guys just to help anyone else out there, because it can be a very lonely place, and when your mind is constantly against you and not working with you, oh holy fuck, is it difficult. So I'm right there with you, and I have to look down at my notes because I get so many different forms of anxiety and I forget until they come on me. I'm like, whoop, trigger, whoop, trigger, whoop, trigger. So the first one that I've got is the never-ending feeling of wanting to do more and wanting to be more. I have struggled with that probably my whole entire life. I've never feel as though I do enough. When I'm doing enough, I don't feel it's good enough, and the negative little voice starts talking in my head. Social media also doesn't help with this, because if you're having a bad day and then you go on social media and you see everyone sort of like doing these wonderful, amazing things, and you're not doing those wonderful, amazing things, you're still wearing the same pajamas that you've been wearing for like the last week, so you couldn't be able to get changed because you think, what's the fucking point? All sort of things like that. So what I did first of all with my social media, I basically removed anyone from there that would make me feel bad about myself. And it wasn't because I didn't like them, it wasn't because I didn't appreciate them or anything like that. It was all basically in regards to me and my mindset, and putting myself in sort of like a situation where whenever I went on social media, I would constantly feel shit about myself. So that's the first thing that I did. Social media is a big biggie, and that's why anxiety's got worse as well. Because back in the day when you didn't have phones or everything to record and show exactly what you were doing every single minute, life was easier because you had nothing to compare it to. That's all you could do was be present and know what you was doing and what you was enjoying. And so now it's constantly just like rammed in your fucking throat. So how to deal with anxiety in the morning? What I try to do, don't go on social media straight away. First thing that you do, don't check your email straight away. If you check your emails and it's a bad email, or you check your sort of DMs, messages, or go on social media and see something that you don't want to see, that's going to set you off straight away for the rest of the day. What I would recommend to do, first of all, take time to wake up, breathe, go have your cup of coffee, go have your shower, get ready, get your mindset prepared, put on some music which you want to listen to. Self-care. Don't fuck up your day before it's even started. Give yourself time to slowly come into the mindset that life is fucking good. Being in social situations. When you have anxiety, you can get sort of like clamped up. That's what I feel. I feel like, oh, am I being too much myself? How stupid I thought was that? Am I being too much myself for someone? Oh my god, am I saying the right thing? Is this negativity impacting somebody else? Overthinking yourself, like being in your own brain and not being actually in the conversation. So most of the time you can come off as sort of maybe being ignorant or something like that, but it's not. It's just anxiety. You can come off as being shy, ignorant, not listening to what anyone's saying. It's because you've got these conversations going on in your head whilst trying to obviously have the conversation in front of you as well at the same time. So it's like a constant three-way situation. Should I say that? What if I hurt their feelings if I say that? Am I being fucking annoying? Do they even like me? Am I even meant to be? Do they want me here? That's where anxiety is. The little voice saying, nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be here. Shut up. Stop speaking. When really the people that you're with, obviously their friends or the family, and they love you. They love you and they want you to be you. And when you start sort of shutting yourself off like I did, start putting a mask up, not being really authentically who you are, people who love you will see that. And you can never say the wrong thing to people that you love either. Never. Whatever you say, even if it's stupid, if it's dickish, if it's whatever it is, if someone loves you, They will never ever judge you on that. So always be loose, always be natural, always be you, because that's why they bother around with you in the first place. And the little thing in your head, do they really, really want me here? That's all complete absolute bullshit. That's your brain talking to you about you, and it's all made up. Next thing I want to talk about, dropping the mask. Not being frightened to tell people that you suffer with anxiety. Now, this one was a biggie for me because no one would have guessed it. It's only one day when I was going to work and I had a complete meltdown, like I could not go. I couldn't go. I remember waking up, I had a panic attack, and I just ran into the living room and I see my dad and I grabbed him and I just started crying. I was like, I can't do it. I cannot go to work today. I can't face anyone. I can't speak to anyone. And I didn't know who I was meant to be, what I was meant to be doing. And I ate it for long and I struggled. And then as soon as I told my dad straight away how I was feeling, he told me that he was feeling the same. That he had struggled with anxiety. And as soon as I opened that door to have the conversation and be like, whoa, I'm a fucking mess. My dad opened the door this time and was like, whoa, me too. And I was like, thank fuck. Because there's so many people that struggle with anxiety and you don't even know about it until you speak about it. Like when I started to talk about it, some of my friends would come to me and be like, oh, I've been on antidepressants for years. I suffer with anxiety for fucking awful. I don't know what I'm doing. It's existential crisis. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that's why I struggle with first of all, because I felt like by admitting that I had anxiety, it was making me weak, which is the opposite. By admitting that you have anxiety, it makes you stronger. And it also makes anxiety weaker as well, because you can then have honest conversations. You can be like when I was away traveling a lot, I would get like the worst hangovers, which wouldn't help my anxiety. And my mate who I was traveling with, she'd never had anxiety, so she didn't understand at all. But she was so helpful in that time, because I would say to her, I can't go to the shop today. I can't even go to the shop. I need food. I need water. But I can't go. And she'd be like, cool, I got you. I'm going to go for you. I don't understand, but cool, I'll go for you. And by being honest with her, then it helped me to sort of take time for myself and sort of like regroup, which you need to do a lot, but have time on your own. But the problem is having too much time. Sometimes the more time you have, the more sort of fucked it can get your mind. The less time that you spend with people. Alone time is brilliant. I recommend to anyone. Finding time to be on your own and loving your own company is amazing. But when you're constantly isolating yourself, when you isolate yourself, like hermit mode, don't want to see anyone, don't want to do anything, that's when it becomes a fucking problem. So traveling was hard for me. I was always wondering, because I had like the worst fucking year, and I booked this big trip and I thought this was going to sort my life out and it would get me out of my slump. And when I was there, when you board a plane, you don't leave your mental health behind, unfortunately. So I could be in PP in Thailand, I'd be sat on the beach, and still I'd have these negative sort of thoughts against myself, which I'd have to battle with every day. Should I be here? Should I be home? What am I doing here? Why am I drinking every night? What am I doing to better myself? Like, you're a shit person. Shit. And these are the conversations I would have with myself. And then the next day, after a really bad day, the next day would be amazing. And I would be like, what the fuck was that? Why did I just waste a day of this amazing trip beating myself, beating a fucking dead horse, trying to sort my brain out? Insane. So yeah, talking about it, you will be surprised how many people will come to you and they will tell you that they're going through the exact same thing, or they've been through the exact same thing, and how much easier it will make your life. And then explaining to people situations, because people, when you talk about it, they can cut through the chaos, they can cut through the shit. So your brain can be speaking all this shit and you can't make sense of it. You're trying to have a conversation with your negative brain that's against you, or feels like it's against you, and the chaos is not getting sorted because you're always going back to square one. It's like a cycle, a loop. You get stuck in the same thoughts again and again. I'm thinking of this, oh no, with this, oh back to this, and then it keeps going, and it's like a spiral, and these thoughts spiral. One bad thought goes to another bad thought, and then you're like, before you know it, you're like 6 hours deep into a fucking deep state of depression and anxiety ridden, and potentially a panic attack as well. So By talking about it, voicing about it, it weakens it. And the next thing I wanted to talk to you all about is when people think you're lazy. That's the big one I've had. Like, some days I would struggle to even go into the shop. I do it eventually, but my mind going into the shop, even to go buy something, like go buy milk, go buy bread, go buy anything, I would have to hype myself up to go. It was like a big fucking deal. So like one of my mate would be driving the car and they'd be like, oh, will you pop in the shop? Or like my sister pop in the shop and I couldn't do it. And they'd be like, why are you being so fucking lazy? And it wasn't I was being lazy, it was because I literally felt as though I couldn't do it. Insane, right? Can't even go to your local shop to go get something because your anxiety is telling you that it's a big deal even though it's not. And the thing is, what you need to do with anxiety is just push through it. Like, you have to go in that shop. The more your brain tells you, don't go in that shop, that's when you have to do it. That's when you have to sort of break. No, this is not in control of me. Like, this is not going to control my life. How many times has your friends asked you out and you've been, oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea. And then when it comes to the day, you're like, oh my god, what am I going to talk about? Like, am I going to see people that I know? Am I going to have to talk to them? Are they going to ask me what I've been doing? Like, how am I going to put this mask on? How am I going to deal with the whole night of like pretending that I'm okay? But then when you go and you get home, and don't get me wrong, you drained from it, but you had the most amazing time. And it really lifted your spirits up by not isolating yourself and putting yourself out there. How many times has that happened to you? Because that happened to me a fucking shit ton. Also, being a shit friend, that's one thing I beat myself up about quite a lot of the time. I can get messages and I wouldn't respond to them for 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later. And they'd be like, where you been? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I just could not message them back. And I don't know why. Just pressure, what am I going to say? What am I going to just not wanting it, not wanting any attention, just want to be me, myself, and I. Like, stay at my DMs, like, don't message me. Call in, whoa, that's a no fucking go. Like, if you don't text message me, you're not going to get me on the phone. Like, period. Like, anxiety pushed me to never want to answer my phone. I don't know why. It's not a big deal answering your phone. And that's what anxiety is. It makes everything such a big, fucked off deal, and it's exhausting. So when your phone rings, answer it. You'll probably have an amazing conversation with someone that you love, or your friend, who will pull you out of whatever deep hole that you put yourself into that day. I started back the gym this week, and going back to the gym was one of the things that was kicking my anxiety off the most. I was dreading it. And I don't know why, because I have a lot of friends there. I enjoy it when I'm there. When I come out there, I feel amazing, a lot better than when I walk in. People message me when you're coming back, and I just was excuse after excuse. Sorry, I got some naps tonight. Sorry, can't. And it took me 2 months to go back to the gym. And as soon as I went back to the gym, I was like, what was the big deal? Oh my god, I've wasted 2 months of self-improvement due to self-sabotage. So when your brain says no and your anxiety says no, you say, fuck you, yes. That's the message I've got. Self-care goes a long way. If you don't want to go out, really, really don't want to go out, not because of your anxiety or just because you generally don't feel like it, then don't go. Saying no is okay as well. But as long as it's not the anxiety stopping you, it's not like you want to go, but your anxiety saying, oh, go on then, go, but you're going to have a terrible time, you know? Go with an open mind. And don't listen to the anxiety part of it. Listen more to your intuition and go with it. Life's too fucking short. Life's too short. This 2020, I hope that everyone falls in love with themselves and realizes exactly who they are and what they deserve. And if you do come across people who don't like you or don't like what you have to say, then they're not meant to be in your life anyway. Let's cut the shit. Let's cut the BS. Let's cut everything. Just whoever's meant to be there for you will, and whoever's meant to be in your life will find you. So that's all I can ask, and all all I can try and do for myself as well in 2020 is try and be authentically, completely me, without feeling like I'm being too much for someone, because you will never be too much for the right person. So I'm going to keep making videos like this every now and again, like I normally do tarot on the channel, but I just really wanted to share this. And once again, I've been meaning to make this video forever, but I haven't done so. Why? Because anxiety told me I wasn't good enough. Anxiety's a bitch. So happy new year, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and love and light to you.